Absolutely brilliant, lads. We had there John Buckley, we had Paddy O'Donovan, Pat Harrington, Dermot O'Leary, Donald McCarthy and John Lyons. Give them a big hand again, lads. Next up now, lads, we have another grand singer, Martin Coughlin. Martin.
Raised on songs and stories, heroes of renown, those passing tales and glories, once was Dublin town. Hallowed halls and houses, haunting children's rhymes, that once was Dublin city in the rare old times. Ring a rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. My name it is Sean Dempsey, as Dublin as can be. Born hard and late in Pimlico, and a house that ceased to be. By trade I was a cooper, last out to redundancy, like my house which fell to progress, my trade's a memory. And I courted Peggy Dingham, as pretty as you please, a rogue and child of Mary from the rebel liberties. Lost her to a student chap with skin as black as coal, when he took her off to Birmingham, she took away my soul. Ring a rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. The years they've made me bitter, the gargle damns my brain, for Dublin keeps on changing and nothing seems the same. The pillar and the Met have gone, the Royal long since pulled down, as the grey unyielding concrete makes a city of my town. Ring a rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. Very well, then Anna Liffey, I can no longer stay and watch these new glass cages that spring up along the quay. My mind's too full of memories, too old to hear new chimes. I'm a part of what was Dublin in the rare old times. Ring a rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. Ring a rosy, as the lights decline, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. That's good. Oh, when I was a young lad, I carried my pack, and I lived a free life of a rover. From the Maurice green basin to the dusty old track, I was my Matilda all over. Till in 1915, and my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tenat, and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay, and among all the tears, flag waving and cheers, we sailed out for Gallipoli. It's well I remember that terrible day when our blood stained the sand and the waters, and how in that hell that they call Sugle Bay we were butchered like lambs to the slaughter. A Johnny Turkey was ready, he'd primed himself well, he rained us with bullets and he showered us in shell, and in 5 minutes flat we were all blown to hell. Nearly blew us back home to Australia. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. Oh, we buried ours and the Turks buried theirs. Then it started all over again. Now those who were living just tried to survive in that mad world of hell, blood and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, while around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell blew me arse over hell, and when I awoke in my hospital bed and saw what they had done, and I wished I were dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying. And no more I go waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and near, for to hunt and pegs sure a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. We collected the crippled, the wounded, the maimed, and we shipped them back home to Australia. The armless, the legless, the blind, the insane, those proud wounded heroes of Sugla. And when the ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where my legs used to be, and thank Christ there was no one there waiting for me, for to mourn, to pity, to sorrow. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. Oh, nobody cheered, they just stopped there and stared, and they turned all their faces away. So now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade pass before me, and I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, renewing their dreams of past glory. Oh, I see the old men, they're all tired, sick and sore, those weary old heroes of a forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I asked myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But year after year, the numbers grow fewer. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And their ghosts may be heard as you pass by a billabong. Who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
That was absolutely brilliant, Martin. The next man up now is the present chairman of the Kilmurray GAA. He's like myself, he's retired. I'm on a small pension, he's on a big pension, but that makes no difference. You see, it's like the lad below in Knocknagoshel. He was on the paper there last week. He was the caretaker of the local church. And he couldn't go anywhere to the All-Ireland finals or anywhere because he was afraid the priest mightn't open the door or close the door in the evening. So when he came to the age of 75, he was told by the bishop, you'll have to go, you'll have to retire. So the people of Knocknagoshel came together and they wanted to know what would they do as a present for him. And some wise old wag in the hall said, do you know, she said, he was never out of Knocknagoshel, we'll send him to meet the Pope. So then there was another meeting called when he was going to meet the Pope to make a presentation on behalf of the people of Knocknagoshel. What would we give him? So the same wise old wag said, we'll give him a crucifix for fear he ain't enough already. And fair play to Michael O'Leary, the big man he is and the big heart, he flew him over free of charge. And when he got over to the Vatican, he thought he'd be left in straight away, but he was told by the bishop that you can't go in for another hour. And there the poor man was, and he walked up and down the hall, everything. How will I present this now? He was thinking of everything. So when his time came, in he went to the Pope, and the Pope was looking at him and he said, in the name of Jesus Christ and the people of Knocknagoshel, I present you with this beautiful crucifix. And the Pope looked up to him with his eyes opened. In the name of Jesus Christ, where is Knocknagoshel? Jim.
Where did the chair go, man?
Yeah.
Sit down anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was going to be a speech before I was going to sing. And you know, I'd want the pension I have because I will try to deal with that for 40 years. Oh, Father dear, I oft times hear you speak of Erin's Isle, her lofty scenes and valleys green, her mountain rude and wild. They say it is a lovely land wherein a prince might dwell. But why did you abandon it? The reason to me tell. O son, I loved my native land with energy and pride, until a blight came o'er my crops, my sheep and cattle died. My rent and taxes were to pay, I could not them redeem, and that's another reason why I left old Skibbereen. Oh, well do I remember that bleak December day. The landlord and the sheriff came to drive us all away. They put my roof on fire with their demon yellow spleen, and that's another reason why I left old Skibbereen. Your mother too, God rest her soul, fell on the snowy ground. She fainted in her anguish, seeing the desolation round. She never rose but passed away from life to mortal dream, and found a quite grey, my boy, in dear old Skibbereen. And you were only 2 years old, and feeble was your frame. I could not leave you with my friends, 'cause you bore my father's name. So I wrapped you in my coat of moor at the dead of night unseen, and heaved a sigh and bid goodbye to dear old Skibbereen. Oh, father dear, the day will come when vengeance loud will call, when Irishmen with failing stern will rally one and all. I'll be the man to lead the van beneath that flag of green, and loud and high we'll raise a cry, revenge for Skibbereen.
Can you go without seeing King Michael? The bicycle Michael, lads.
I won't sing to Michael at all.
I do.
No. Give me a chance with him. For nearly 60 years I've been a cocky. Of droughts and fires and floods I've lived through plenty. This country's dust and mud has seen my tears and blood. But it's nearly over now, and now I'm easy. I married a fine girl when I was 20. She died in giving birth when she was 30. No flying doctor then, just a gentle old black gin. But it's nearly over now, and now I'm easy. She left me with 2 sons and a daughter. And though my care was rough and ready, they grew up fine and steady. But it's nearly over now, and now I'm easy. My daughter married young and went her own way. My sons lie buried by the Burma Railway. So I've made this land my home, and I've carried on alone. But it's nearly over now, and now I'm easy. Oh, city folks these days despise the cocky, saying with subsidies and dole we've had it easy. But there's no drought or starving stock on the Seward suburban block. But it's nearly over now, and now I'm easy. For nearly 60 years I've been a cocky. Of droughts and fires and floods I've lived through plenty. This country's dust and mud has seen my tears and blood. But it's nearly over now, and now I'm easy. Oh, it's nearly over now, and now I'm easy.
Come on, Jim, brilliant all together. Now, before I ask Peter to sing a song, do you know, I'll give you a short one myself. And this was a song that was made famous by the late and great Tommy Makem. What have I now, said a fine old woman? What have I now, this proud old woman did say? I have 4 green fields, each one was a jewel, in strangers' hands that tried to take them from me. I had fine, strong sons who fought to save my jewels. They fought and they died, And that was my grief, said she. Long time ago, said a fine old woman. Long time ago, this proud old woman did say, there was war and death, plundering and pillage. My children starved by mountain, valley and sea, and their wailing cries, they shook the very heavens. My 4 green fields ran red with the blood, said she. What have I now, said a fine old woman. What have I now, this proud old woman did say. I have 4 green fields, one of them in bondage, in strangers' hands that try to take them from me. But my sons have sons as brave as were their fathers. My 4th green field will bloom once again, said she. You can say what you like.
Right. Maybe someday I'll go back again to Ireland, if it's only at the closing of my day, for to sit beside a turfer in a cabin and to watch the sun go down in Galway Bay. Now the breezes blow across the sea from Ireland, are perfumed by the heather as they blow. And the women in the uplands digging praties speak a language that the strangers do not know. Now the strangers came and tried to teach us their ways. They scorned us for being what we are. Sure, they might as well go chasing after moonbeams, or to light a penny candle from a star. And if there's going to be a life hereafter, and somehow I am sure there's going to be, I will ask my God to let me make my heaven in that dear old land across the Irish Sea. I will ask my God to let me make my heaven in that dear old land across the Irish Sea. Thank you. No, I can't do that, sure. No. One pleasant evening in the month of June, as I was sitting with my glass and spoon, a small bird sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was up, tooraloo, 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 tooraloo. A small bird sat on an ivy bunch, and the song he sang was the juggle punch. What more diversion can a man desire than to sit him down by an alehouse fire? Upon his knee a pretty wench, lying on the table a juggle. Up tooraloo, 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 tooraloo. Upon his knee a pretty wench, lying on the table a juggle. And when I'm dead, lying in my grave, no costly tombstone shall I grave. Just lay me down in my native feet, with a jug of punch at my head, and up tooraloo, 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 tooraloo. Just lay me down in my native feet, with a jug of punch at my head. I'll tell my man when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's alright. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you let me go. Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high, and the snow come travelling from the sky. She's as sweet as apple pie, she'll get around that by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell a man when she goes home. Let them all come and stay with, that's his Albert Mooney. She loves, I'll tell my man when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my crop, alright, till I go home. She's handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is a courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she?
Thanks, Beto. Brilliant altogether. And it was so nice to hear Galway BA, because we have two lads that were outside in the bar and they heard what was going on inside here for LTV, all the way from Galway. They had to come in and join us. And lads, you're very welcome. Next man up now is another brother of mine. I know, is he storytelling or singing a song or what? Mikey, come on. Come on. Take your time.
Oh, come all good men and true, a sad tale I'll tell to you, of the maiden who was known to me as Sive. She was lovely, young and fair, but that household sad and bare, a marriage to an old man would contrive. Now that tinker's son came into that house of wanton sin, and his father pat Buckcock smote on the floor, saying, "Call on my blade, let a noble song be made, being plenty on this house forevermore. Oh, my Glavin, you're the man, you were always in the van, with an open door for all men and gossoon. May white snuff be at your wake, baker's bread and cunny cake, and plenty on your table late and soon. On the road to Abbeyvale, I met a man with mail. Come here, says he, and spend your idle time. For me, he made quite bold, saying the young will wed the old, for the old man have the money for the child. Now to Machine Sean Road, the lawyer, sat down alongside the fire, and he sold the girl Sive that very night. But Buckcock did scorn that quest, saying, "Sing your mighty best." And the song of Carterlawn was like the blight. May the snails surround his copse, may the rains do harm worse, may the devil take the hairy crater soon. He's as greedy as a sow, as the crow behind the plough. That black man from the mountain, Johnny roar. May he screech with awful thrust, may his brains and eyeballs bust. That blasted Amador, that big basthoon. May the flays invest his bed, may the mange eat up his head. That black man from the mountain, Johnny roar. But the bonny scythe took flight like a wild bird in the night, and the waters washed her small white body o'er, and our true love found her there, and stacked her golden hair, as he laid her on the dark and dismal shore. Oh, come all good men and true, a sad tale I'll tell to you, of a maiden fair who died upon this day. Oh, they murdered lovely Scythe, 'cause she would not be a bride, and they laid her down to bury in the clay.
You know, lads, I haven't died him well tutored. Dick, come on again, boy.
I greet you proud, ye blary sons and daughters fair and true. Assemble at the Southend Club, old friendship to renew. This annual opportunity, I'm loath to let it pass. Ere I recite a tale tonight, my Inchagil lass. Blaria, how sweet that name rings in an exile's ears. Though I have seen your head-clad hills with 25 years. 'Twas there I met my heart's delight, one Sunday going to mass. As I knelt in prayer in that chapel there with my Inchagil lass. She was modest as the cooing dove, as gentle as the fawn, that floats o'er Desmond's storied heights, those highlands o'er Gugon. No goddess fair in Granwell, in beauty can surpass my winsome rogue, my Marinogue, my Inchagil lass. She danced along the Lee's green banks each Sunday afternoon, her nimble feet keeping time with the piper's merry tune. The classy job of journey work, she danced it on the grass. The pattern queen of deer came in, my Inchagil lass. But like all the boys along the Lee, I joined a rebel band. I pledged myself to freedom's cause for dear old motherland. An outlaw I was chased from Cork to Caman's famed pass, and was forced to flee from Erinsley and my Inchagil lass. But before I from my native land forever to depart, I slip behind the soldier's line to the darling of my heart. Our pictures on that moonlit lake were mirrored as in glass, as I bade farewell in a hazel dell to my Inchagil lass. So I fled to Enniscarra groves before the dawn of day, took passage in a Yankee ship that in Queenstown harbour lay. The captain being a Fenian boy, my safety to compass. So the ship set sail from Granuaile, and my Inchagil lass. But what became of Marinogue? Eve Larry's fair is flower. She drooped as droops the May blooms, neat belated winter showers. When the autumn trees had shed their leaves, they laid her neath the grass. My promised bride, Eve Larry's pride, my Inchagil lass. Eve Larry, ah, Eve Larry, far away across the waves. You holds what I primes most on earth, my Maureen's grass grown grave. And my present habitation is in a Broadway, Boston, Mass. And the buckle row is always true to his Inchagil lass.
Man, Dick, put it all together. If we have more time, Dick, we'll get back to you. We'll see how we're going. Next up is my dear lady from Clonagilty.
Thanks. Thanks. Jenny, my own true loved one, I'm going far from thee. Out on the bounding billow, out on the bounding sea. How I shall miss you, my darling, there when the storm's raging by. Oh, Jenny, my own true loved one, wait till the clouds roll by. Wait till the clouds roll by, Jenny, wait till the clouds roll by. Jenny, my own true loved one, wait till the clouds roll by. Jenny, when far from thee, love, and on the ocean deep, will you still dream of me, love? Will you your promise keep? When I'll return to you, darling, and kiss every tear from your eye, oh, Jenny, we'll be together. Wait till the clouds roll by. Wait till the clouds roll by, Jenny. Wait till the clouds roll by. Jenny, my own true loved one, wait till the clouds roll by. Wait till the clouds roll by, Jenny. Wait till the clouds roll by. Jenny, my own true loved one, wait till the clouds roll by.
Thanks a thousand, my raid. No, lads, I think we'll hand back again to Donald Mack for another song. Donald?
I'm going to do a song of one of singers there. I'll tell a story.
A story, right?
I told it to Connie there one day in the Abbey.
Right.
There was this cannibal family living out in the jungle. There was a father and mother and two sons. And the mother was scolding that they had nothing to eat and they wouldn't go out and find someone for them to eat. So the next morning, the father and the two sons struck off out through the jungle. They gave all day walking. And at that hour out in the evening, they saw light out at the end of the jungle. And they went out anyway, and they're peeping out through the bushes. And they see this lovely beach, and this blonde is walking down the beach naked. And they look at her for about 10 minutes, and one of the sons turned over to the father. He said, Dad, he said, we'll go down, he said, and we'll take her home and eat her. We won't, he said, we'll go down, we'll take her home, he said, and we'll eat your mother.
The man, Donald. Thanks very much indeed. Now, Mary Harrington, quick step out here now, Mary, quick. Mary, come on, come on. Danger might be able to get you there. You might be having danger to get you there.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Get your way out in here. Don't shove up near me, Last night as I lay dreaming of pleasant days gone by, me mind been bent on rambling, to Ireland's I did fly. I stepped on board a vision and followed with her will, till I shortly came to anchor at the cross of Spansel Hill. Delighted by the novelty, enchanted with the scene, wherein my early childhood, where often I had been, I thought I heard a murmur, and I think I hear it still. It's a little stream of water that flows down Spansel Hill. It being on the 23rd of June, the day before the fair, where Ireland's sons and daughters were all assembled there. The young, the old, the brave and the bold, their duty to fulfill, at the little church of Clooney, a mile from Spansel Hill. I went to see my neighbours, to hear what they might say. The young ones were all dead and gone, the old ones turning grey. I met with Taylor Quigley, he's as bold as ever still. Sure, he used to make my breeches when I lived in Spansel Hill. I paid a flying visit to my first and only love. She's as fair as any lily and gentle as a dove. She threw her arms around me saying, Johnny, I love you still. She married the farmer's daughter, the pride of Spansel Hill. I dreamt I stooped and kissed her, as in the day of ore. She said, Johnny, you're only joking, as many's the time before. The cock, it crew in the morning, it crew both loud and shrill. And I woke in California, many miles from Spansel Hill.
But if Neil and Mahagut Mary, brilliant altogether. Donald Lynch for another recitation.
It won't be as long as the last one.
Donald, tell the story about tell that story. The boomerang.
It was about an Aboriginal mother. She bought her son a new boomerang for Christmas, and he had a nervous breakdown because he couldn't throw the old one away. Someone told me that's the worst joke ever told. Anyway, I'll try this recitation. It's from North America. It's an old favourite, The Shooting of Dan McGrew. A bunch of the boys were whooping it up in a Mute saloon, and the kid that handles the music box was hitting a ragtime tune. At the back of the bar in a solo game sat dangerous Dan McGrew, and watching his look was his light of love, the lady that's known as Lou. When out of the night, which was 50 below, and into the din and the glare, there stumbled a miner fresh from the creeks, dog dirty and loaded for beer. He looked like a man with a foot in the grave and scarcely the strength of a louse. Yet he tilted a poke of dust in the bar, and he called for drinks for the house. There are guys that just grip your eyes and hold them hard like a spell. Such was he, and he looked to me like a man who had lived in hell. With a face most hair and a dreary stare, of a dog whose day is done. He watered the green stuff in his glass, and the drops fell one by one. Then I got a figuring who he was, and wondering what he'd do. I turned my head, and there watching him was the lady that's known as Lou. His eyes went rubbering round the room, he seemed in a kind of a daze, till at last that old piano fell in the way of his wandering gaze. Now the ragtime kid was having a drink, there was no one else in the stool, so the stranger stumbled across the room and flopped down there like a fool. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat and I saw him sway. He clasped the keys with his talon hands, my God, but that man could play. Were you ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear, where the icy mountains hemmed you in with a silence you most could hear? Where it's only the howl of a timber wolf and you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark dead world, clean mad for that muck called gold. Whilst high overhead, green, yellow and red, the north light swept in bars, and you have a hunch what the music meant, hunger and night and the stars. And hunger not of the belly kind that is banished by bacon and beans, but the gnawing hunger of lonely men for a home and all that it means. For a fireside far from the cares that are, four walls and a roof above, but oh, how charmful with cosy joy and crowned with a woman's love. But a woman dearer than all the world, true as heaven is true, how ghastly she looks through her rouge, the lady that's known as Lou. Then on a sudden the music changed, so soft that you scarce could hear. You felt that your life had been looted clean of the cares that it once held dear. That someone had stolen the woman you loved, that her love was a devil's lie, that your guts were gone and the best for you was to crawl away and die. 'Twas the crowning cry of a heart's despair, and it thrilled you through and through. I guess I'll make it a spread measure, says dangerous Dan McGrew. The music almost died away. Then it burst with a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay. My eyes were blind with blood. The thoughts came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash. The lust awoke to kill, and the music stopped with a crash. And the stranger turned, and his eyes they burned in a most peculiar way. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat and I saw him sway. Then his lips went in a kind of a grin. He spoke and his voice was calm. And boys, says he, you don't know me, nor none of you care a damn. But I'd like to state, and my words are straight, and I'll bet my poke they're true, that one of you is a hound of hell, and that one is Dan McGrew. I ducked my head, the lights went out, 2 guns blazed in the dark. A girl screamed, the lights went up, 2 men lay stiff as start. Pitched on his head and pumped full with lead lay dangerous Dan McGrew, while clutched to the breast of the stranger was the lady that's known as Lou. Now them are the simple facts of the case, and I guess you ought to know. The stranger they claimed was crazed with hooch, and I'm not denying it so. Nor am I as wise as the liar guys, but strictly between us two, the woman that kissed him but pinched his poke was the lady that's known as Lou. Thank you.
Brilliant, Donald. Brilliant. No. Brilliant, Donald. Brilliant altogether. Con. Leo. Come on. Don't hold up the show now because we're finishing up. Leo Healy now for lovely Derry. Right, lads. Quietness.
There's a spot in my memory. It's a spot of great fame. It lies to the northern. I'll tell you its name. It's my own native birthplace, and it stands on Irish soil, and they call it lovely Derry on the banks of the Fyle. I was young, I was foolish, like more of the boys. Had seen many sorrows and yet many joys. Tried hard for a living, and it's hard I did toil on the spot called lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle. But now I must leave her for to cross o'er the sea, to try and make a fortune for Mary and me. She cried as she left me, and her tears wet the soil on the spot called lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle. But when I'll make a fortune, sure 'tis home I will go, to the land of my childhood, the sweet girl I know. I will build her a mansion, never more shall I toil, far away from lovely Derry, on the banks of the Fyle.
Good man, Leo. Thanks very much indeed. Next up is Orla again. Orla. Right, come on.
I hope I won't go wrong. I don't know if you can see
the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories, singing songs that made me think about where I've come from, and that's the reason why I seem so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I shall become a stranger, though it would make me more than sad, Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I have moved and I've kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. I've kissed the fellas and left them sighing, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've travelled hard, sometimes with conscious playing, somewhere in the wind. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I shall become a stranger, though it would make me more than sad, Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, a forest choir. The flames have cooled, don't get any higher. They're withered now, they're gone. And I'm steady thinking my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow. The hands have shaken, the kisses flowed, and I will disappear. Let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home.
Thanks all, fabulous all together. Now we call him Martin. I'm sorry to be rushing a bit, lads, but we are down 5 points and there's only about 15 minutes left.
Begin the subs. 'Twas on Good Friday morning, all in the month of May, a German ship was signalling beyond out in the bay. He had 20,000 rifles all ready for to land, but no answering signal did they come from the lonely Banner strand. No answering signal from the shore, Sir Roger sadly said. No comrades here to meet me, but alas, they must be dead. But I must do my duty, and at once I tend to land. So on a small boat rowed ashore, on the lonely Banner strand. Now the RIC were hunting for Sir Roger high and low. They found him in McKenna's fort, says they, you are our foe. Says he, I'm Roger Casement, and I come to my native land, and I tend to free my countrymen on this lonely Banner strand. They took Sir Roger prisoner and sailed for London town. And in the Tower they laid him, a traitor to the crown. Says he, I am no traitor, but his trial he had to stand for bringing German rifles to that lonely Banner strand. 'Twas in a British prison that they led him to his death. I'm dying for my country, he sighed with his last breath. They buried him on British soil, far from his native land, and the waves they sing a requiem on that lonely Banner strand. They brought Sir Roger home again in the year of 65, and with his comrades of 16 in peace and tranquility, his last fond wish it was fulfilled, for to lie in his native land, and the waves they roll in peace again on that lonely Banner strand.
Very good indeed, Martin. Thanks very much. Now, lads, we want a special 7 minutes here now for a special one for a wonderful lady that was here, only just gone back to America. And there's 3 DVDs, little do you know, but there's 3 DVDs going out to America, to Jersey, before Christmas. And we wish Betty Summers from all in Macroom a very happy and a peaceful Christmas. But in particular, a very happy Christmas from her dear friends, Martin and Marion, Connor and Sheila, Eileen, Pato, and Peggy. And they're all here, and I wish you a very happy and holy Christmas. And Betty used to love travelling out to see Sheep's Head, God's own country, down to see Lochgine and all those places. And she said the nicest place in the world was Macroom. And we finished, I'll call Pato up to sing Mount Massey, the flower of Macroom, but she used to love to hear the old songs, the Irish songs around the place of the different counties and things like that. I'll sing 2 or 3 of them, and then Pato will sing her favourite of all, Mount Massey, the flower of Macroom. And I need a bit of help now, lads and dears. There is one fair county in Ireland, with memories so glorious and grand, where nature has lavished its beauty. It's the orchard of Erin's land. I love its cathedral and city, once founded by Patrick so true, and it bears in the heart of its bosom the ashes of Brian Barrow. It's my own Irish home, far across the foam. Although I oft-times left it in foreign lands to roam, no matter where I wander, through cities near or far, sure the heart is at home in old Ireland, where in the county of Armagh. I travelled on part of that county, from Newtown for Kilcrossmillan, around by the gap of Mount Norris, where are the boys that can court them? Like the boys from the county Armagh. It's my own Irish home, far across the foam. Although I often left it in foreign lands to roam, no matter where I wander, through cities near or far, sure my heart is at home in Old Ireland, well, in the county of Armagh. And our favourite song of all was beautiful Dublin town, Doonaree. If you ever go to Ireland, I'm sure you will agree to take the road from Dublin town way down to Doonaree. 'Tis there you'll find a wishing well beyond the chestnut tree, in a shady nook by a winding brook. Will you make this wish for me? Oh, to be in Doonaree with a sweetheart I once knew, to stroll in the shade of a leafy glade where the rhododendrons grow, to sit with my love on the bridge above the rippling waterfall, to go back home, never more to roam. It's my dearest wish of all. And we sing one verse of my lovely Rose of Clare. Oh, my lovely Rose of Clare, you're the sweetest girl I know. You're the queen of all the roses, like the pretty flowers that grow. You are the sunshine of my life, so beautiful and fair, and I will always love you, my lovely Rose of Clare. Oh, the sun, it shines out like a jewel on the lovely hills of Clare, as I stroll along with my sweet lass one evening at the fair. Her eyes, they shone like silver streams with her long, long golden hair. For I have won the heart of one, my lovely Rose of Clare. The last time, lads. Oh, my lovely Rose of Clare, you're the sweetest girl I know. You're the queen of all the roses, like the pretty flowers that grow. You are the sunshine of my life, so beautiful and fair, and I will always love you, my lovely Rose. I hope you're asleep by now, Betty. And if you're not, I call on Pat Packer to sing Mount Massey the Flower Macroom.
Hello, Betty. So, friends, come with me, and it's there you will see the apples and cherries in bloom. And to you I'll invite, where I first saw the light, in Mount Massey, the flower of Macroom. In the sweet summertime, when the weather was fine, what fun there would be at the gate. The collies would smile as they sat on the stile, and the sweethearts their love tales relate. When dancing was o'er, we would stroll in the park, each lad and his lassie in bloom. And as you'll I'll invite, where I first saw the light in Mount Massey, the flower of Macroom. Everybody! So friends, come with me, and instead you will see the apples and cherries and bloom. And as you I'll invite, where I first saw the light in Mount Massey, the flower of Macroom. And now I must roam far away from my home and cross over the wide raging sea and leave friends behind, both loving and kind, and the cunning so dearly long me. Don't fortune may smile far away from our isle, I will pray that the day will come soon when I stroll once again by that lovely domain in Mount Massey, that flower of Macroom. Everybody! So friends, come with me, and this day you will see the apples and cherries in bloom. And it's you I'll invite, where I first saw the light in Mount Massey, that flower of... One more time! So friends, come with me, and this day you will see the apples and cherries and bloom. And it's you I'll invite, where I first saw the light in Mount Massey, the flower of Macroom.
Come on, Pato, well done, Betty, and again a happy Christmas. And if you want us to fly over, Michael O'Leary, fly us over free of charge, and we'll pay for you and Donald Trump. Now, lads, we'll go back to our musicians because we have to thank everyone here tonight. We are nearly coming to an end, but there's a special thing coming up in a minute, and we are nearly coming to an end, but our musicians here tonight, I think they deserve a round of applause. Let's play whatever he likes, sing whatever he likes, do whatever he likes. Take your time, do whatever you like. You sing. He can keep your old RT1 and he can keep your old RT2. But give me the local television any day. Can you want to say that was run? Because we're running out of time now, lads. We are finishing up. Can want to give a recitation. After that, we'll finish our show. I'll have to say a few words to thank everyone. We got back to the musicians to play us out and to play the national anthem to the end. So we're finishing up. Do you want to give that recitation, Con?
My oat is hot on my track today, and my flannels are soaked with sweat. I think I'll sit in the shade a bit and wait for the sun to set. I know of a decent camping place by the river beyond the town, but I'd rather carry my swag out there after the sun goes down. A touch of pride as it may perhaps, though no, I have not much cause for pride. 16 years almost today since the old man Kerrigan died. 16 years and his place is sold, and the fortune he left is spent. For the road downhill was an easy road, and that was the road we went. Kerrigan, that was the old man's name. He was one of the tough old sorts. He held the reins and he trusted in God, and he hated drink and sport. We lads were fond of a bit of fun, but he kept us under the rain. We had to abide by the old man's will, though it went against our grain. The old man dropped in the yard one day where we had yearlings penned. We lifted him up and carried him home. We knew it was his end. The neighbours gathered for miles around, for he had not a single foe. And the men that stood round the open grave spoke well of the man below. Our only sister, she died at birth, our mother being long since dead. We found we were the only heirs when the old man's will was read. We were only a couple of country blokes that had never been off the farm, but were kept in check since our boy had up by the weight of an old man's arm. We were good in the saddle, I need not say, and the old man he kept a stud. For the love of the horse, for the horse's sake, was strong in the Irish blood. Breeding was only a hobby with him, a sort of a harmless craze. I often thought that he had his fling way back in his younger days. We back for a win on the chestnut colt, but the strength of the trial she showed. Ah, but someone got to the boy on top. We knew by the race she rode. She lost 10 lengths and finished last. It was useless to make a fuss, for the men we met at the racing game were far too cunning for us. We backed her again in the Greystones Cup, but she finished in half the straight. We left our cash in the bookies' bags, for she failed to carry her weight. We cursed the jockey, we cursed the horse, we sold her there and then. We had our fill of the racing game and the ways of the racing men. We drank and sat at Mulligan's bar, we gambled the whole night long. We dealt in cattle, we dealt in sheep, but all our deals went wrong. As long as the banks could cash our checks, we didn't care what we spent. For the road downhill was an easy road, and that was the road we went. 'Twas 5 years after the old man's death, together we took the sack. We staggered into the nearest town, and I had a drink with Jack. He shook my hand and I wished him well. I knew he was close to tears, for I hadn't seen Jack since then, or heard of him now for years. Somewhere out in the southwest of France, his hunting swag may be, toiling under the burning sun and cursing himself and me. I'd give 10 years of my worthless life, though now I may not live that long, for one more look at his wizened face, one grip of his finger strong. But time went on and drought got bad. It lasted over a year. Our credit stopped, our stock died off. We knew our end was near. Our drain pipe shut, our back doors closed. Our father's place we sold. We found we had squandered all what we had, like the prodigal son of old. So that is the tale of the Kerrigan boys. Our morals are near at end. You'll always have plenty of friends at hand, while you have plenty of money to spend. We got our chance, and we did the fool. It is too late now to repent. For the road downhill was an easy road, and that was the road we went.
man can. Good man can. 'Twas worth waiting for. Now, lads, we're on the verge of finishing up. There's a few words I want to say. I want to thank the people, number one. And when I'm finished, the musicians will play us out. They can do what they like. They can sing a song, play us out, and finish with the national anthem after that. But lads, there's a certain amount of sadness here tonight. We had a great night, but there's a certain amount of sadness as well. For this great man here in front of me, Mr. Danjo Keller, informed me that this could be very well the last live recording for LTV. And that is so sad if we lose the local television. Because lose anything local is sad. And we'll just take tonight's program now, for instance. Danjo has to leave home. Well, all his gear into the car, come down. There's an hour and a quarter gone. He has to take down all his gear again and take it home. Another hour and a quarter gone, 2.5 hours. He's here 3.5 hours. That's 7 hours gone. When that man goes back home, he has to edit it again for local television, send it out. Now, the costs involved in that, lads, people don't realise it. There's the wear and tear of the machinery that's there. There's huge ESB bill costs. There's 4 masts around one above in Slaveen, one in the Clara Mountains, and one in Mill Street. All that costs money. Danjo goes out to Bill the Blah, goes out to Kilmichael, goes here to Macroom, goes to various things around the place. And the people think that he can run it on fresh air. Them days are long gone to there, and long gone they will be. But it's up to us, the people, to keep it going. And tonight's show, I think, when they go back over the 34 years, this will equal any one of them. I have no doubt about it. And the people will get their chance at Christmas. There'll be the DVDs for sale on of this show around Christmas. As I said, there's 3 on the way to America. And all we're asking the people for is one hungry €10 to buy that DVD. And they'll have a great 3 hours entertainment. And if they want one for their neighbours that haven't got LTV, buy one for them at €10. No, it's very easy to get the local television. All they have to do is turn on their television in 1, 2, 3 or 4 and switch the TV again and go into EWTN. That's the holy channel. And LTV is on there every Wednesday night and every Sunday evening. And the beautiful thing about it is on a Sunday evening, come January and February, there's a lot of old people out there in rural Ireland. And the bad weather and everything, they won't be able to go to the Holy Mass. And that's the first thing Danjo puts on everything on a Sunday is the Holy Mass for those people. It goes into our hospitals, it goes into our nursing homes, it goes to all the different places. And I will say to you people, we have to stand up and keep this man going with LTV. We must fund like church gate collections, but please, 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 we have to get support to keep us going. Now, to finish up, I must thank each and every one of you for coming here tonight. I must thank all the people, all the team that took part here tonight. It was very generous of your time. I must thank those wonderful musicians. You won't see the likes of them anywhere. As I said, RTE, whatever they have, BBC or the Sky, God help us, they're only trotting after us. There. I want to thank Margaret Foley for the help she gave me. I want to thank the staff here in the hotel. I want to thank the bar lads behind. And in particular, I want to thank the outstanding manager, Eileen Lynch, for all she has done here for me, even laying on everything here tonight. I'll say a big thank to the Castle Hotel and to the staff. And again, I have to finish by saying to Danjo, don't give up. I will be here again next year, so I will. And I know what the team I have behind me. And if they can fix the Briery Gap, we'll fill it. We will. It's as simple as that. The spirit is there and we will do it. And let you all just give one chorus in. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. And so say all of us, and so say all of us, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a goody good fellow. And so say all of us. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Dan John, thanks very much for the 34 years you brought to the people of rural Ireland around Musgrave to Hallow division. You were a man before your time, so you were, with all your gadgets there and everything. Thanks 1,000. Now, we'll finish up, lads. We'll ask this wonderful band to play out whatever you like to play, lads, play, and finish with the national anthem.